Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith Phillips, and this is a really exciting video because at the end, unless something goes horribly wrong, at the end, we should get our very first character art reveal. So if you're unfamiliar with what exactly this is, we are blessed in the year of our Lord 2026 to have artists just sort of like readily available to people to commission. It is a very fun thing that a lot of writers and authors like to do. They commission an artist to create art to go with their book, to illustrate the characters or a particular scene or something like that. Of course, indie authors often utilize artists to do like the covers and things like that. But trad pub authors also do that, and my book obviously isn't out yet, but I've wanted to do this for so long, and my little like gift to myself that was not necessary by any means, but something I really wanted to do. My little gift to myself for getting a book deal was to finally commission some character art. So I wanted to take you along as I go through the process of the various stages of the artist creating things and how this works out. And then I'll share the final piece with you guys at the end. Over the last several months to a year maybe, I've been collecting artists for myself on Instagram. That's the main platform I'm on other than here on YouTube. And I've just been following people that I like their art. A lot of times, you know, I follow other writers and other authors, and a lot of times if they post a piece of art that I really like, I'll click through to that artist's profile and follow them from there, right? So I've collected quite a few, and what I wanted to do, because I've obviously had to pick just one for this, but what I want to do, if you are interested in potentially following more artists over on Instagram, or if you yourself are looking for an artist to draw for you, I'm gonna link below to a goodly number of other artists I found on Instagram that I think are incredibly talented, but for whatever reason I wasn't able to go with them as my like final pick here. Most of why I couldn't go with them either was they were closed to commissions, so that was out. Some of them are a little pricey, so some of the cost to it was like, it was just a little bit above what I was hoping to pay, so they were out. And then what else? Oh, sometimes it just came down to like the style. So a lot of the artists that I was finding are tended to illustrate like dark fantasy or like dark academia. Great artists, but I don't feel like that style matches my own Regency romance very well. So I was kind of like, Or some of them were there. They had like more of a cartoon, like full-on cartoon style, which again, I do like that a lot. I don't feel like it matches the tone of my book. There were other artists who had more of a, like an anime kind of style. Love that too. Again, didn't really seem to fit my book. So in the end, I went with Hannah Latham, who is a UK-based artist. I'll of course link to her below. And I really like her stuff. I think it's really beautifully done. I love the colors and like the lighting and stuff that she utilizes. I'm not an artist, so I don't really know what to call any of this, but I really love her work. And I thought her tone and like the mood that she has in a lot of her pieces and the way that her characters are illustrated matched the sort of vision I had for my book and the art to go with it. Today is December 31st, 2025, and I actually contacted her back in October. And at the time I was like, hey, are you available? And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am. And she said she had a spot for me in early January. And she said, hey, whenever you want, just send over information about like, what do you want the piece to be? She was like, no rush, we'll get to it in January. So it's been so busy the last couple months. I finally had time this past week to put together a little something to send her. I'm currently on a little break from my day job because it's Christmas, New Year's, holidays, and this is typically when I like to take some extended time off work. And I've gotten a lot done this week, including finally compiling a detailed description of what I am imagining. Now, part of this to me feels so weird because my talent in like visual arts or drawing extends to crude stick figures. That's it. That's the talent for me. That's where it ends. And so to tell, it kind of feels weird to go to a professional artist and be like, here's what I want you to do. Like, who am I? I don't know anything about balance or lighting or colors. So it feels a bit weird to tell her, like, I want the picture to look like this. So I do have a little disclaimer in my materials. I was like, listen, you're the professional. So if you look at this and you're like, yikes, this is going to be a really ugly picture, feel free to change things or make suggestions, whatever. I, of course, then went probably overboard in what I sent to her. I think what I meant to do, I've never done this before, but I think what I meant to do is just send an email with like a paragraph or two describing things. You know, what do you want the picture to look like? What did I do, you ask? What did I decide to do? Again, I am on break from work, so I have a lot of free time, and I get bored very easily when I'm just like hanging out. So I went on Canva, and I ended up with a 5-page PDF with text descriptions of various things and picture references of other actors that I think are appropriate for the various roles, pictures of Regency outfits, pictures of Regency home interiors, pictures of Somerset House, which has nothing to do with what this picture is supposed to be of. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I put together a whole thing. I don't know if I want to show you all of this information. Is there really anything in here you can't show them, Meredith? Probably not. I did all of this. Why did I think this was necessary? Don't know. But I've just got everything. I've got absolutely everything. I wanted her to have an idea of what the story was, so I included like the story blurb here, a description of this scene and where it is in the story and like all that kind of stuff. I went into, okay, what do I actually want this piece to look like? What are the characters dressed in? I have a sheet for each of the characters to say, like, what's their hair color? What's their attitude? Here's a random quote. I don't know. What am I doing? So part of me is like, I hope she doesn't look at this and she's like, oh my gosh, this lady's crazy. But that's what I did. I had fun with it. Yeah, so I sent that to her late yesterday, and then today's New Year's Eve, so she's probably having a great time being, you know, a fun person while I'm just at home and I'm gonna go to bed at like 9 o'clock. Anyway, I just wanted to do a little intro clip to kick off this vlog for us, and I should hopefully be hearing back from her in a couple weeks once things get started. She said there's different phases of the illustration, and she'll like send me each phase to sort of like, you know, see if there's anything I want to change or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'll get into all that here in the next little while, and I'll share it with you when I do. I'll see you maybe in like a week or two. Hello. It is now Tuesday, January 6th, and I got back the first little bit of my artwork. Are you so excited? So the first thing she sent me is just a thumbnail, which is basically like just very bare bones sketched image that shows like the general positioning of the characters, a few background details, and that's it. But this looks, sorry if you can hear the giant lawnmower. Why did they start this as soon as I start filming? Can you hear it? I don't know. Anyway, so I love how this looks. It's really interesting to see how she took my notes and everything, and like this is how she's interpreting it all, which I think is very close to what I had pictured. And I love the angle. Like, I love this. So let me show you. So this is a scene from like early in Act 2 where they're still kind of wary of each other. They're still getting to know each other. And this is the first time where he sees the architectural work that she's working on, and he's quite impressed with what he sees. So it's a nice little moment of connection where they're having like a genuinely kind interaction with each other, because it's been very like conflict heavy up until this point. And so they just have a nice little moment together where they look at the work she has there, and he likes it and tells her so. So I'm really excited. She was like, do you have any tweaks? Like, what do you think? And I'm like, I have no notes, honestly. It looks really good to me. So I just said, looks good to me. I don't think I want anything changed on this. So she's going to keep working on it and send me back like a more fleshed out version of the sketch. She said she was going to aim for later this week. So very excited to see how that looks. And yeah, I mean, I think it should be done by next week, which will be very fun to share with you. So that's the little update. I will check in with you when I have a new version of the sketch. Hello, I'm back. It's Thursday the 8th. And I got an update. So she sent back 2 things this time. The first one is the same sketch, but like more, I don't know, finalized lines on it. You can tell I'm an artist, obviously, by the way I'm talking about this. And the second one is really cool. It has a little more in terms of like where she's imagining the lighting is going to hit the figures and the background and like where the lighting is coming from. So let me show you these. I love this so much. It's so cute. So I think I'm going to ask for one tweak for sure, maybe a second tweak on his arm. So in this one, it looks like Hannah is looking up at him and he's looking down at the tabletop. But I think I'd rather have her looking at the art, at the work on the table, because in the scene she's like explaining to him what she's doing. But I want him to be looking at her. And then his arm where he's kind of he has it like up near his chin. I like that. I wonder if it would look better if his hand was like leaning on the tabletop, or if that would like block her too much. I'm not sure. I'll ask. But that's the little update. I'm very pleased. I'm so excited. This is so fun. And it's just, I have so many of these scenes in my head, and now getting to like actually see it visually for the first time is very fun. I'll be back with a more complete version next time. Hey everyone, it's me, I'm back. It is the 20th now, and I had the final piece in my inbox when I woke up this morning. I'm so excited to share with you. So I've had more interaction, more back and forth with the artist in the time between now and that previous clip you saw, but the ones I've been getting have had like the color in it and a lot of the details and all that. So I'll show you those, but I thought, let me just skip to sort of like the end product, and then I can show you sort of like how we got there. It kind of feels like it'll be slightly anticlimactic if I show you these like in between ones. I don't know. Anyway, so let me show you the final piece. Do you love it? I am in love with this. I think this is so beautiful. The colors and the lighting is so great. And I'm in love with all these little details she has. All the like architectural supplies on the desktop, the little like sketches that she has on the pages and everything. Like, I did not think we would get into that level of detail, but I'm so glad we did because I absolutely adore this. I'm so pleased with it. I hope you guys love it too. So let me show you some of the like stages that we went through to get to this final illustration. So after that initial like line sketch of the piece, she sent me back an initial piece with the color filled in a little more. She had also asked like if there's anything in particular I wanted like outside in that, you know, it's supposed to be like just the street outside that window. And she asked if there was anything in particular I wanted out there. And I mean, it's just like the street. I didn't want it to be anything super interesting. It's just the street. But I had her put a light post out there. They had light posts at the time in London. I forget. I think they're just, I don't think they were gas yet. I think it was just literal fire. So anyway, I sent her like a picture of what they would have looked like, and she added that in. So I like that as like an extra light source. I think it's really pretty. She also in the initial line sketch had Hannah holding a quill, which they would have used those at the time for like ink. They had regular pencils, and for the architectural sketches that Hannah's doing, she wouldn't have used a like ink, because they would have wanted to use pencil so it could be erased and redrawn and whatever. So she changed that little detail for me. In the next version that she sent, she had asked like what exactly I wanted on the pages on the tabletop. Like, she's working on these sketches, like what would that have looked like, or what do you want it to look like? So I sent her some examples of architectural sketches from the time period, and I think she did such a great job of like recreating that on those pages. She added the little ruler to give it a little more, you know, a little more detail, which I love. And then for the final piece, she had asked, you know, she was like, the table still looks a little empty to me. Like, are there any other tools or things you want on the table? And again, me being me, I have example pictures of like actual architectural tools of the time. So I sent her pictures of that and she added those on the tabletop for me. So I really love this. This was so much fun. This was so much fun to go back and forth with her and tweak little pieces and add new things. And I mean, she had questions about like how things should be that I never would have thought of in a million years. So very much pleased with this final illustration for my book, and now I'm obsessed with character art. So I'm hoping I get to do this again sometime in the near future. We'll see. There's definitely other scenes that I would love to see brought to life in this way, but this has been very fun. This was a very good like little reward for myself. Not that it seems weird to be like, you got the reward of a book deal, now you have to have a reward for the reward. But anyway, this was a fun way to celebrate the excitement of the deal and everything. And I love getting to see them. They're so pretty. So now I'm gonna like, I want to print it out and like, I don't know, put it on my wall or something. I think that'd be really fun. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you don't like it, you don't have to let me know that. I literally just want you to tell me how cute it is. Thank you so much. And like I said in that very first clip, I will link below, of course, to Hannah Latham, the artist who did this work for me. And I'll link below to the other artists I found that I like their work, but like I said in that very first clip, I couldn't go with them for whatever reason. But if you're looking for an artist, that might be somewhere to start. A Rogue's Guide to Winning a Wife is due out in spring of 2027 from Bantam Dell. I'm very excited. As soon as I have more updates on literally any of the publication information, I will be sure to let you know. But for now, if you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, you can click the subscribe button. I usually post videos on Fridays. I'm thinking this is going to go up kind of random. Yeah, I'm too excited to wait until Friday, frankly, to post this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.